Studio Ghibli. We'll talk about those later. We getting into it already.
Oh no,
You didn't do your.
I always start recording before we start.
I was like, oh fuck, he didn't do his little 1, 2, 3 cut bullshit.
Hey, we no longer on the script. We say fuck these scripts. Oh, broke ass out.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. But nah, man. I can't wait to talk about this shit, bro. I like good sad movies, man. I like.
Were you really expecting that shit to be happy?
I wasn't expecting it to be happy. I was expecting it to be like feeling like how anime is, but this shit was straight fucking like there was nothing. There was nothing good about this shit. But let's go ahead and start, bro. Let me make sure the recording, everything is uploading. I wish you could see your audio on here. That's the only thing about that, but maybe they'll work on it.
You know, if you hit the settings, and you go to audio, it has like the little bar that goes up and down.
Oh, okay.
But it's like only 4 bars, and I don't really peek it, but I feel like Krishan might be useful, but then he can't see the main thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We need
and you can't move the window. Like generally, like you think you could slide the window to the side or something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't let you. It's just what it is.
I'm gonna be curious if that will change, because definitely for Jujutsu, we're gonna do it live on Instagram. Like it will be on here, but it'll be streaming live on Instagram. So I'll be curious if that is different from this, because this is what do they call it? A remote studio. So I'm curious if there's different features with it live. Who knows? Who knows? But let's fucking start this shit.
Gang, gang, gang.
Welcome back. We are back. Anime for 3. Boom, boom. I'm in a good mood, but this was not a good movie that we're about to talk about. But welcome back to Anime for 3. You are joined with the host Valley V, and we are joined with another host, Kaiser. Say what's up.
What up, bro?
Hey, what's cracking, bro? But Amanda unfortunately couldn't be here. Honestly, she couldn't be here because of the movie we're doing. But
yeah, she didn't want to watch it, bro.
She didn't want to watch that. Not one bit, bro. She was like, "Oh well, I don't want to be too sad and cry." I was like, "If you don't get on." But nah, this is really a gut wrenching movie that I'm excited to talk about it because I love sad shit. Krishan could be here as well too. He has some work events that it was schedule change or schedule conflicts, but he couldn't be here. But we are going to discuss on a Ghibli. I don't even know if you want to call it a favorite, but it is Grave of Fireflies. It is very, very fucking sad. But before we talk into the synopsis, which Kaiser is going to do, I do want to plug in our socials real quick. Please follow us on Anime for 3. You can get us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We are also on Anime for 3. You got to spell out the number, or you have to put the number 3.
No, we're also on YouTube as Anime for 3, but you got to put the number 3 instead of spelling it out.
hey, Kaiser got it from me. So all our season 1 videos are on the YouTube. So go ahead and check it out.
Bro, you sound old as hell. It's on the YouTube.
It's on the YouTube. But let's go back to the topic. Well, the movie, Grave of Fireflies. Kaiser, what is Grave of Fireflies about?
Man, everybody knows Studio Ghibli, right? Give us Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke,
which is a good one.
Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro. Everybody knows. But this is one of their like older OG films. This movie is from like the 80s, late 80s, I think. Maybe 88. 88 sounds like a good number to throw in there. It was actually written by one of the founders of Studio Ghibli.
Yes.
So, it's like it's some OG Ghibli stuff.
Yes.
So basically, the story of Grave of the Fireflies is that it's a story about a brother and his sister's journey throughout the end of World War II. I think that's the best way to put it without just throwing it all out there. Something happens, and
non-spoiler related.
they just have to, survive through it.
Wink, 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 wink.
Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we'll touch on spoilers as we're going through. It's just I am just trying to say the whole movie.
No, absolutely. I mean, we're definitely if you want to watch it. Unfortunately, it's not on anything streaming wise. But you could rent it. I rented it for $4 because I really wanted to support. Unfortunately, I rented it as a dub, so I just had to musk it through. And I found out from friends and reviews that it's better to watch a sub. But dub wasn't that bad. But again, you can rent it.
First time I watched it was dub, and I didn't realize there was a sub. But this was like ages ago whenever I first watched it, so that's common thing too. And even like when you look at the Ghibli movies on HBO, I think they're still on Max, right? They're all just the dub version. There's not really a sub version unless you go to international streaming sites, then you can watch the sub version.
He's a pirate. He's a pirate. He's a pirate. He's a pirate. But no, yeah. But definitely, we're about to get into heavy spoilers on it. So if you haven't watched it, please watch it and then jump in right at this spot. But really, it's traumatic. It's a traumatic experience between these two orphans. So again, I love sad shit. I'm not a sad guy, but I love fucking sad shit. So we're about to dive in, and the first thing we're going to talk about is obviously, what do we rate this? What do we rate this Ghibli movie? So I'll go first. I give this shit a 10 out of 5. This shit was fucking fantastic. Everything it was, I just love the fucking simplicity of it. It was just stripped down to the bare bones of, hey, I want to give y'all a story about a fucking shit event that actually happened in our fucking history. And you guys are going to digest it. And I don't give a fuck if it's too sad, if it's too fucking real, if it's too fucking heart throbbing and all. They fucking went all full guns at it. And I was ready for it. As soon as the intro was just a bit, man was dead, was doing the little narration and shit. Man was dead. They threw the ass box, which we found out later that the ass was, what's her name, which we'll talk about later on in the little fucking can. It was really good. I'll stick to the rating for now because we have other topics where I can dive in. But it is a 10 out of 5 for me. What do you think, Kaiser?
Bro, I'm right there with you. I recommended it to y'all because like this shit, Ghibli don't miss. First of all, Ghibli don't miss.
Spirited Away, I was really not.
You didn't like Spirited. But like it hit the spots. It's realistic for like an anime, like not even just talking about like superpower, like all the Ghibli movies now it's about ghosts and shit like that. But like even without that, like homie don't even get plot armor.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like it's some real stuff.
Yeah, man. It's sad. What's his name? Setsuko? Setsuko, something like that. But it's sad what homie had to go through.
Seita.
Goodness, I'm over here.
Yeah.
But the girl,
Setsuko.
Setsuko is the sister.
Yeah. Setsuko's the sister.
But man, bro, like homie didn't have shit, man. Like that man went through some shit. Fun fact though, in between, because we're giving our ratings, my anime list, they rated this movie at 85%, but Rotten Tomatoes, critics only, gave it 100%. And this was years ago. And then the audience rating was like 98% or something like that. So I was like, fuck. Like, why is Mal always fucking so like critical on shit? I don't understand that shit. That shit was fucking amazing. Like, this shit really, not amazing for what went on with the characters and what probably most motherfuckers really went through in real life during World War II. But I don't know, man. That shit was good. It was good. It was good. But okay. So we both give it a very fucking high rating. So again, if you haven't watched by this point, watch that shit. Watch that shit. Rent that shit and watch it. But we're gonna go in and give our thoughts on the movie overall. We're gonna start out with the plot. We're gonna go into the characters, and we're gonna go into the visuals. I want to go into the visuals first, and then we can go into the plot. the
Yeah.
visuals for me was very eye appealing. I noticed, again, this is a very old movie, so probably they didn't have anything to go for. But I noticed that they were doing a lot of, when you were a kid or in high school, junior high, whatever, and you were doing this watercolor paint. It looked a lot like all of the fires, the fucking when they panned over to the sunset where they were living at, the river and everything. It was a lot of like waterworks shit. Again, I don't know if that has anything to do because it was made around the 80s, but I think that the fucking visuals for me were fucking fire. um I was just looking into what other people were saying, just because I was just curious. Like, I wanted to take myself back to what people were saying during the 80s. People were saying that the fucking animation, how the characters had big eyes and everything, it
Mhm.
was pulled. They pulled that because Disney was such a big mega fucking juggernaut, so they were trying to like copy their animation to sell international. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now you don't see that shit anymore.
Mhm.
But I thought that was pretty cool, just visual wise. But what do you think about the visuals? What you think about the visuals first?
Visuals, man. I like their use of color or their lack of. Because you remember
Mm.
that scene, um, like how it was in the beginning, it was like super grayed out when they're at the train station,
Yeah.
right? And then it flashed back to when before the fire started in the beginning, it was like
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
bright
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
colorful.
Yeah.
And after
Yeah.
that, it slowly got like darker and shadier, except when it has that flashback to when they were at the beach and shit, and like, oh dang, it's happy. But after that
Yes.
point, it was slowly just getting darker and darker. It was just the color tone was just helping the mood so much, bro. And
So
like,
much. I'm
I
glad that
don't
I'm
know.
glad that you brought, because yeah, they use the color to describe the emotion that the character,
Mhm.
because back where they were living again, like it was their first day and they were capturing all the fireflies and everything, and then they released it in their little dark hut, and it just brightened up the fucking room, and
Mhm.
their fucking face glowed up and shit, and they were actually in that moment hopeful as fuck. Granted,
Yeah.
there's no hope in the whole
And
movie.
then the next scene is her putting the fireflies in the grave.
Bro, bro, tell me that shit was a fucking bro. That shit was gut wrenching. That shit was good, and that ties in. Let's go into the plot, bro. The whole homie is dead and telling us pretty much how his sister died. But that's and we're jumping ahead, but her burying those fireflies and then knowing that she already knows her mom died the same way they buried. I was like, bro, like what we doing? That's when I knew that. That's why I didn't touch my phone. That's when I knew this movie had me. I was like, all right, give me everything y'all have to say about what we need to know about humanity and the innocence of fucking youth and shit. And like, bro, like, I was like, dog, bro. Man, that
You
motherfucking
know one scene that kind of struck me, bro,
what's up?
being as a as a sibling.
Yeah.
Remember when they were at the school when he first found out,
Mm,
and then he went out to his sister was at the sandbox, and he was trying to do some extra shit on the pull up bar and like doing spins and shit, trying to distract him. I was
yes.
like, damn, that's some shit. Like you you
If
really
you are
like
older
he
silver,
trying to hide he trying to hide it, and then at the same time he's like trying to cheer somebody else up, and you're like,
yeah.
damn,
That's an older sibling effect right there,
that
man.
should be
Yeah,
hitting.
that shit hit, bro.
Doing
And
some extra. He was doing like some gymnastics, like spinning on the pull-up bar shit. I was like,
for a while too.
mm-hmm.
He was going
And
at it too. He was spinning and spinning and spinning. But no, yeah. I respect that guy. That guy shows how to kind of muster um in the face of fucking tragedy for your sibling, for your sister, for your brother, like that. I don't think that man really broke down until he saw his sister understand that his mom was dead at that firefly scene. Like, I
Mhm.
was like, bro, like, when are you gonna give a chance to break down? You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, Seita, come on, bro. Like, bro, it's you a kid. I was trying to find out how old these kids are. I couldn't find it, but like, you a kid,
Yeah,
bro.
they should be like the normal anime range, probably like around 13,
14.
14.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I was like, bro. But anyway, that's the middle of the plot. The beginning, I was like, I don't know what's going on. Homie was dead, bro. I hate like now thinking about it. They treated these like dead bodies like they were nothing, bro. Like that shit is fucking. I hated that shit. Now I'm thinking about that shit, bro. I hate this movie. Is sad as fuck. It comes in full circle. Now that I'm talking about it, I just watched it right now as we're recording. So, granted, like everything is still hitting low key, bro. I'm like, fuck. They were fucking poking and prodding this guy like he was nothing. They threw his sister's ashes away. I'm like, bro, like I don't know, man. And that the dad was dead, and like he didn't know that the mom was dead, and like this man didn't catch a break. And then what else? What happened after that? I'm trying to think in the flow of what it was giving us plot wise. I thought the aunt.
She was.
What you think about the aunt? I was really curious about your take on the aunt because this is kind of plot and character. We're tying it in.
She was rude, but at the same time, homie wasn't really doing anything. Like he could have. You can't say your school burned down, but aunt's like daughter was like going to school. Like he could have done something or worked somewhere or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was just freeloading. And granted, like it's a tough time, but the aunt and them is going through it too. You know, like they living through the war too. Everybody living through that.
Yeah.
Granted, like they're in a worse situation, but homie could just like, you know, like they got to understand like they were still giving them shit. Like, you know what I mean? Yes. Like, don't get me wrong, Ant was kind of terrible, but he could make it work. He could have made it work until he found a job and then left or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I think the aunt, I say aunt, but I think the aunt, like, I understand where she was coming from. Like you said, he's a freeloader. Like you gotta like you gotta bring something to the table. I know you're a kid, but you're grown. You damn near almost a young adult. But I understand that. But at the same time, bro, I'm with her because, like, I think Seta, bro, like I think like the farmer told him, swallow your fucking pride, bro. Swallow your pride. Go back to your aunt, and your sister could have lived. Your sister really could. You were feeding her fucking frog. You were feeding her fucking shit,
snails from the river, and
yeah, bro. You were feeding her it's not oatmeal, but it was something else that I can't remember that they were fucking like putting water in. I forgot what that process is. I know what it is, like it's fermentation or something like that. But anyway, like I was like, bro, like bros, like this isn't it, bro. Like you're not being a bigger brother right here. You're being prideful, but at the same time, that's what it sucks because like homie's a kid. Yeah, he's a kid, bro. Like he doesn't know any better.
And he went to the bank to get money. This whole time they had money in the bank, like for food or I don't know, bro.
He's a kid, bro. I don't know.
That's the thing. That's the thing is he's a kid, so he won't know. But at the same time, like looking back at it, you're like, man, parts of this could have been avoided.
It could have been. It could have, and that's what sucks for because I can only speak for me, and I think other people like in the audience would fucking say the same thing. I was like, bro, like stop, like you're putting yourself in a worse situation. You cannot live, like the farmer said again, you cannot live outside by yourself. You can't. Like you have your aunt that you can argue she's terrible, but like, bro, homie, you left sink in the dishes and she still cleaned it up for you. Your sister's crying and she scolded you for it, but she didn't say nothing. I'm like, that's just a parent being a parent, bro. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, like they weren't getting the Harry Potter treatment. They were still getting food. Bro, you know what I mean? Like
they weren't.
They had a room. Like
now, granted, the aunt did sell homeboy's mom's what do they call it? Garments,
the kimonos, yeah.
Kimonos, thank you. So I'm like,
but at the same time, it's like one of those things where like, bro, they were trying to make ends meet. Remember, even the farmer who didn't have extra money for extra rice to trade and shit like that.
Yeah,
like
everybody was hurting then. Everybody was hurting. But no, I mean, the plot wise, it was great. It's the best. Honestly, Ghibli wise and probably movie wise is probably the best form of storytelling I've seen from a movie aspect for anime solely. It just really grounded you into reality, like, bro, like, and I was waiting for them to say like America bombed or dropped these bombs on Japan, but they never mentioned them, bro. They only refer to them as the enemy. And I don't know if that's because they are fearful of what America would do if they brought it up like that, or if that they just wanted us to understand that we can put ourselves in that situation. If it happened to our country, that we would view them as an enemy and we fucking hate them, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
maybe that's the artistic style that they were going for. I don't know.
Or yeah, maybe they're thinking like it's gonna be international type of thing. So
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
put a certain country in there. And then, you know, who are like companions during that war. Because you remember this was released 30, 40 years 30 years after the
30 years
war.
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That funny you said, because I saw, this is a fun fact I was going to add in, and I'll throw it in here. Why not? But in South Korea, when the movie was released, it was postponed to be released there due to the fact of the World War II. So they were like, nah, like, fuck that shit, like, da 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 da. But understandable. Like, why would you, this shit really happened? Like, it's just not fun and games. Like, but yeah, dog, that shit was this out of the whole year, every movie that I've seen anime wise, this is probably the saddest fucking film I've ever seen. Anime, real movie, like, this is the fucking saddest fucking movie I have ever
Now
seen.
you see why I chose Setsuko as my saddest death.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
It'd be like that sometimes, bro.
Yeah. I will say this, homegirl was being annoying at some points though. I was like,
Bro, you gotta.
like,
Is she like what 5'4" or some shit
she
like
is
that?
5, yeah, but I was like, man, you better suck it up.
You know they'd be like that, bro.
Hey, I'm just like, you see what's going around here.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But at the same time, she did suck it up at the end. Like she had all these things going on with her, and she was trying to. Because I feel like she kind of knew like he can't help this.
Yeah, I think she accepted it at the very end. Shit, I ain't trying to get fucking sad again. But
whenever she was trying to eat the mud ball,
yeah, and then she was like, bro, she was like, here, I made fucking rice cakes for you, and it was rocks. And then homie got the watermelon, put it in the mouth, cut it up and everything. But she was like, hey, thank you. I was like, yeah, she knows she about to go. She knew she was about to go.
She knew, bro.
That shit was sad, bro.
And then as like the scene continued, you see the watermelon just like, you know, when food gets left out and gets shriveled up, and you're just like, damn.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
That shit hurted, bro. That shit hurt. What hurted more though, and I know anime always does this shit where they give a fucking, like, what's it called? A flashback. Is after all said was done, and they showed what is it? How do you say her name again? Setsuko?
Yeah, Setsuko.
They show what she was doing during the day when homie was gone. She was trying to entertain herself for fucking hours in, bro. And I was like, fuck. Like, this is a time where technology wasn't a thing. I wasn't even thinking about the hours that were going by when home guy was fucking leaving her in this little hut, this kids next door treehouse they have. And just she was skipping rocks. She was on a seesaw. The saddest shit was when homegirl was looking in the damn river and was playing fucking rock, paper, scissors. Granted, knowing that she will never fucking win. She's playing herself. And I said, bro, I'm done with this movie. That's when I texted the group and I said, this shit is rough, nigga. Oh God. I dropped, hey, we'll edit this piece out. But this shit is rough, bro. I was like, man. But yeah, bro, that was a good recommendation, man. That was a good recommendation.
Them sad hits, bro.
Again, if you haven't watched the movie by now, please watch the fucking movie. Rent that bitch. It's worth every fucking dollar, every dollar penny.
Or rent it with your younger sibling, you know, and your family in the room, bro.
I wouldn't.
You ready for the waterworks, bro?
I wouldn't
with your
do
close group of friends, watch it together. Get some Kleenex ready. Don't tell them though. Hey, tell them, hey, it's a fun Ghibli movie. We gonna enjoy this.
Nah,
Have you seen My Neighbor Totoro? This is by the same company.
That's a bad setup for fucking Tears Waterworks right there. But I'm curious, would you have changed anything? Would you would have wanted anything different from the movie, Kaiser?
Bro, I think for the most part, this movie was gold. Right? And the only thing, I don't know if I like it, but I feel like it would hit harder if we didn't know they die at the end. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like what you were saying, where like they were just like in the train station, just treating them right, or treating them however, and like the guy just threw the can with the ashes and shit. Like I feel like that hits more in the beginning, but I don't know if they just waited until that, like they placed that part at the end, if it would be better or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's like the only thing. But at the same time, it's still good where it is, but I don't know if it would be better if they kept it like as a regular timeline without the movie being a flashback, basically.
Yeah. I see what I do.
You see how it works though. It works for it. Like it makes sense, but I just want to know like how it would be if I watched it
without
the opposite
knowing.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they cut it in early enough where you don't know it was the boy, or like how they narrate. But at the same time, they did it so well. I can't defend that. Like I can't defend my own argument because like it was so good how it was. But what if it wasn't like that? So it's not really a negative. It's more like what if it was just changed around?
It was changed up. Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, like if it was just a narrating of the boy, right? And then we found out that the boy was actually the narrator, right? The child Setsu. Yeah, I think it would work, but again, the way that they delivered it, I mean, yeah, like you said, I don't see how we can argue that it doesn't, because it's a fucking phenomenal movie. It's a phenomenal film. Damn.
How about you? You got anything you want to change?
I really didn't have anything to change. The only thing thinking about it would be if we got more of the I guess I wanted to have a very full scope of everything that was happening in that world. But I understand that they wanted to focus in on this boy. That was our medium. That's how we were gonna be transported into this world. So I get it. But I did want to see the interaction. I wanted to see what was going on with the dad, the uncle, I guess, his cousin, the daughter of that aunt. So I wanted to see what's going on there, because the way that they were talking about, oh, he's working for the military or something like that, and she's working for the emperor or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember how they worded it, but I was just like, bro, like I would love to see how that would be if they could expand it on it, but then it would be a longer movie and it would have been a little bit nonsense here and there. But
like it would be like endless. Like it'll just add random stuff that we don't need as much for the story, especially like how I feel like it would take away from the mood of the
show, the film. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I will say, like, this is not something I'll change. I'm just commending them for even putting in this, because they didn't need this part. But there was, again, some nuances, some scenes that were not needed. And there was a scene where homeboy, that's when he found the candy can, and then what is it called, sour pickled or whatever, and all this stuff that was underground. So he was hauling that back, and they didn't have to show the whole hauling back and him stopping to then fucking douse himself with water, because granted, this shit is hot. They just got fucking bombarded. Like, there's fire everywhere. It's a fucking summer, like blah blah blah. So like, I love that they showed the humanity stuff in that. I like that they showed them playing around in the fucking beach. We didn't really need that shit. We really didn't. We really didn't.
But no, they knew what they did, bro.
Yeah, they were trying to like. Yeah, they were trying to make
they were trying to get you hit that emotional attachment, bro.
Yeah.
But they could have told the story. They could have told it without it. But like, yeah, they were trying to humanize everything, especially the characters, because yeah, that shit was rough when homegirl passed away. That shit was rough, man. I was like, she better live. She better live, bro. But that shit was sad. That shit was sad. But this is there's nothing like positive to say about it. Like this is just the reality of the outcome of war, and it's unfortunate. And this is the shit that happens when you're a survivor of war.
Hey, but you know who I want to commend though? I feel like the one good person in that was that police officer.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he was like, he's the one who showed them grace, who showed them like humanity, even though it's just, I mean, it's still a big crime for back then, you know, like stealing and stuff, even now, but it's like, he showed them grace because it's just a kid. He already got his ass beat by the farmer, like.
Bad. Bad.
Nobody else was showing grace. Nobody else was like trying to help them. Even like the doctor was like,
said
kind of a dick. Yeah.
There's no medicine. I mean, granted, he was right. Like all she needed to do was eat good food, but like home, like doctor, like where's she gonna get food? Like he said. But no, yeah, I'm glad that you brought that back to the doctor because like I think that was a very consistent theme throughout the whole movie that there was a lot of people that he interacted that could have helped. Then some noticing that they're children, but he's shunned them. Granted, and it goes back. There's nothing wrong with these people. We shouldn't be villainizing the people who didn't help them. They're trying to fend for themselves too. Like this is a shit them two asking for help doesn't mean that there aren't other children who are orphans asking for help.
We see that in the beginning, right? In the train station of all the bodies, like they're not the only ones going through it, but it just shows how rough it is out there during that time.
Rough as fuck, bro. Rough as fuck. But yeah, man. It was a great fucking movie. It was grounded in reality. It was true. It was sound. It humbles you. It makes you grateful for what you have right now. It makes you grateful that we are not in a state of war. Granted, anything could change. But
and it makes you think about the people who are living in those war zones.
Yes, man.
You know, like who are going through that. Like you just see the stuff in the news, but you don't see the other stuff.
You don't see the civilians, the people that have to live through the outcome of higher ups and these first world leaders and everything's decisions. Like, yeah, 100%, man. It just and it makes you think about the bigger picture sometimes, bro. Like, man, this world is a bunch of fucking worms, man. Ain't shit. Ain't shit. Well, we'll go to the fun fact. We'll try to make this a little bit live. I don't know how we can make this a little uppity. It's a really sad movie that we're fucking talking about. Oh, but Isao, am I saying his name right? Isao Takahata?
Isao.
Yeah.
There's an A.
Gotcha. Yeah. So he was the only living animator that was involved in this project, and I think other Ghibli projects that has survived a bomb blast. So again, this movie, he was pulling a lot of tropes from what he actually lived through. So I thought that was pretty cool as a fun fact. Going back again, this came out in 1988. He passed away, unfortunately, in 2018. But I'm glad that I was able to watch his work. He's a badass for fucking surviving that. He's a badass for fucking making something out of nothing, pretty much making lemonade out of a fucking sour lemon, bro. Like honestly, like something that resembles lemonade, goddamn. But shit, yeah. Mad respect to that guy. So I just wanted to give that fun fact to that animator, to the fucking writer. So yeah.
Co-founder, Studio Ghibli.
Oh, he's a co-founder too. I didn't even know. I'm just getting into this Ghibli world. So
yeah, he's one of the co-founders. So
man, wait to make something out of nothing. But shout out to Takahata. I'm trying to make it fun, bro. This thing's still you sad bitch. But do you have anything to sign us off with, guys? Before I go
man, let my depression be depressed, bro.
Yeah, man. This was a depressive fucking episode, but thank you so much for listening in
Yeah.
to Anime for 3. Please check out our socials. We are Anime for 3. You got to spell out the 3 for Instagram and TikTok. We're also on YouTube, Anime for 3. You got to put the number 3. So watch us there. Videos are out. Videos will continue to come out. Watch us. And we will be coming up with the giveaway. It's coming soon. Life is happening. Life is lifing. But hey, at least you're getting content. We can't do much. We can't do much. But officially signing out. So peace. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. What a fucking fun episode, man.
Man.
Yeah.